The skeleton protects all the internal organs inside it. There are 206 bones in a human body, and all these bones together constitutes the skeletal system. The skeletal system gives support and shape to our body, and it also protects the internal organs inside it. The soft internal organs like brain, heart and lungs are safe inside these strong bones. These bones make up around 20% of our total body weight. There are mainly two divisions in our skeletal system. Axial skeleton, which has 80 bones, and appendicular skeleton, which has 126 bones. Axial skeleton is in the axis of our body, that is the head, back and chest. It includes skull, hyoid bone, vertebral column and thoracic cage, that is the rib cage. Appendicular skeleton is made up of 126 bones. It includes bones of pectoral girdle, pelvic girdle, forelimbs that are the arms and hind limbs that are the legs. Let's start with the skull. Skull gives protection to the brain. It includes both the cranial bones and the facial bones. There are 22 bones in the skull. 21 bones are fused together except the one bone mandible. All the cranial bones are held together by joints called sutures. These are the sutures which are made up of connective tissue. Skull protects the soft brain inside. Facial bone protects all the sensory organs of smell, sight and taste. The only bone in our skull that has freely movable joint is the mandible or jawbone. Due to movement of jawbone, eating and talking is possible. There is a small bone, U-shaped bone, that is the hyoid bone. This is the hyoid bone, is in the front of our neck. It holds up the tongue and larynx. It is the only bone which does not form a joint with any other bone. Auditory ossicles are the small bones inside our ear. They are malleus, incus and stapes. They are the smallest bones in our body. The vertebral column is in the form of letter S, which helps the vertebral column to absorb the shocks. 26 vertebrae form the vertebral column in adults. There are upper 24, then one sacral vertebra and one coccygeal vertebra, together 26 vertebrae. The upper 24 are separated by the intervertebral discs. And sacral vertebra has 5 vertebrae fused together and coccygeal has 4 vertebrae fused together. There are 7 cervical vertebrae. 7 cervical vertebrae are there from C1 to C7. It is in continuation from the skull. 12 thoracic vertebrae are there. Each thoracic vertebra is named for its position within the spine from first thoracic vertebra, that is T1, to 12th thoracic vertebra, that is T12. 5 lumbar vertebrae are there. These lumbar vertebrae are positioned on the lower back. 5 fused sacral vertebrae are there and 4 fused coccygeal vertebrae are there. Together these coccygeal vertebrae are called coccyx. Coccyx is commonly referred to as the tailbone. It is the final segment. In tailed animals, the tail starts from this area. As per the evolution theory, our ancestors had tails. Let's move on to the rib cage. There are 12 pairs of ribs, that is 24 ribs in all. The first 7 ribs are attached to the sternum by a cartilage and are called the true ribs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These 7 ribs are attached to the sternum by means of the cartilage. These are the cartilage and they are called the true ribs. The remaining 5 are called false ribs. The 8th, 9th and 10th ribs do not join the sternum directly but are connected to the 7th rib by cartilage. The 11th and 12th pairs of the ribs are called floating ribs. They have no ventral attachment to anchor them. They do not reach the front side of the body. This rib cage gives protection to the thoracic organs like heart and lungs, and under the rib cage we can find the diaphragm. We have covered the bones in axial skeleton, and now let's move on to the appendicular skeleton. The pectoral girdle connects to the arm on each side. The components of the pectoral girdle are the collarbone, that is the clavicle, and the shoulder blade, that is the scapula. There is a depression in the scapula which is called the glenoid cavity. This bone in the upper arm fits to this glenoid cavity. This joint will help in the arm movements. The humerus is the long bone in the arm. The forearm is extending from the elbow to the wrist. There are two long bones in the forearm, the radius and the ulna. Ulna is slightly longer than radius, but radius is thicker. Carpal bones are there in the wrist. This wrist contains 8 carpal bones. They are the small bones, and these small bones allow the wrist to move and rotate. These carpal bones are continued with metacarpals. These are metacarpals. These are the bones of the palm. There are 5 metacarpals, and the finger bones are called the phalanges. There are 14 phalanges, 2 in the thumb and 3 in each of the 4 fingers. Together, there are 30 bones in one arm. Pelvic girdle is made up of 3 bones, that is the ilium, the ischium, and the pubic bone. Ilium is a blade-shaped bone above and to either side, and this accounts for the width of the hips. Ischium is found behind and pubis is in the front. All 3 bones unite at a triangular suture, and this triangular suture is called the acetabulum. Acetabulum is a cup-shaped socket that forms the hip joint. The thigh bone fits into this acetabulum. The thigh bone is called the femur. It is the longest and the strongest bone in human body. It extends from the hip to the knee. The knee joint is formed by interaction of 3 bones, femur, tibia and patella. Patella is also called the kneecap, which is found here on the knee, and it is a flat, rounded, triangular bone. The 2 main bones in the legs are tibia and fibula. Tibia is the largest bone. Tarsal bones are there, which is situated at the proximal region of the foot, and there are 7 tarsal bones, and metatarsals are there like in the hands. There are 5 metatarsal bones, and phalanges are the bones in the toes. The big toe contains 2 phalanges and the other toes contain 3 phalanges each. Altogether, there are 30 bones in one leg. Bones in our body have variety in their size and shape. Mainly 5 types are there: long bones, short bones, flat bones, irregular bones, and sesamoid bones. Long bones are longer than wide. The bones of thigh, leg, and arm are examples of long bones. Short bones are cube-shaped bones, and they are found in wrist and ankle. Flat bones are thin and flattened. The cranial bones are flat bones. The bones of vertebrae are irregular bones. Sesamoid bones are embedded within a tendon or a muscle. Small round bones are found in the tendons of hands, knees, and feet, and they are the sesamoid bones. That's it about the skeletal system. If you like this video, please share it with your friends. If you have any queries, put it in the comment box. Thank you.